Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. We are still, I'm alone. My husband is not around, he's still in the States. So I decided to make this video to check in and tell you what's going on. So we have big, big news.
We got big news today.
So, our people, ladies and gentlemen, cousins, brothers, nephews, and everyone, you're all going to be you're all going to have either niece or a nephew. So I'm 16 weeks. I'm 16 weeks pregnant, and yeah, it's been quite a journey. I'm deciding to tell now because really, I guess it's the right time, but there will never be a right time. But I'm 16 weeks pregnant. We are going to find out the gender. My next appointment, which is really soon. I think days away actually. Days away. And I've just told my family last week. I had also not told them. I was trying to deal with the complications I had before I could tell someone because I didn't know how it's going to work out. But everything is looking out good, and I'm going to tell you the journey. So my husband left in June, beginning of June this year, 2023. Oh, in 2023, 2024. I don't even know. I'm starting to lose my memory. Damn! These days, but yeah, he left in June of this year. I think beginning of June. But even before my husband came, I had issues with my tubes because of the family planning that I was using pills. So before he came, I went to the hospital. I was having cramp, like really painful side on my right. So I was like, let me go to the hospital and check it out. So I went to the nearby hospital. They checked me and like, what family planning are you using and all of that. So I'm like, I'm using pills and I think they're having an effect on you. You have some mass in your tube. So they put me on this treatment. I was getting injections through my veins. That once it was done, I was okay. But then a week after, I got sick again. So I went back. They gave me antibiotics and all other pills. I took these pills. Then that's the time my husband came back. But still I was having this pain. So once he left, I was like, I need to go to a bigger hospital and see a specialist, a gynecologist. Because usually when you go to hospitals near you, they usually give you a general doctor. You talk to a general doctor and you don't get to talk to a specialist. So I was like, I need to find a specialist to talk to about this issue. So I called my sister who was giving birth before. I knew she had a gynecologist because she always talks about how good her gynecologist is. I called them like, this mass is really disturbing me. Can you recommend me to your doctor, to your gynecologist? And she gave me a number of her doctor. So I went to the hospital. I'm not going to say the name. But once I went to the hospital and he checked me, once he found out, then he was like, but you're pregnant. And I'm like, duh. This is not why I'm here, doctor. I'm here for other issues. So, and she's like, yeah, you're pregnant. Since you're pregnant, I really can't do anything with this mass. So he just gave me folic acid. We start taking folic acid. That was in June, and he recommended me to come back in July, end of July, once those monthly folic acid was done. So I was like, now I need to tell my husband. We are not planning to have any kid. We are doing all the necessary measures not to have a child. We didn't really want to have a child when we were still living apart. We had decided let's just wait. Once we move to the same country, then we can think of having a child. And this miracle baby happened. wow, how am I going to tell him? How is he going to react? Because I also didn't know how I was feeling, because it's not to what I was planning. But then I called him. Once I called my husband at night, I don't know how to tell you how his reaction was, but he was also as confused as I was. He was like, babe, I've not had a child before. How am I supposed to be a good father? I don't know how to be a good father. How are you feeling? How is everything? Is everything okay? And I'm like, this is a mess. And I'm like, well, I have no idea how to be a mother. I know how to be an aunt. I've babysat my nieces and nephews. I've been around with them. I know how to be a good aunt, but I don't know how to be a mother. But I'm like, we have a good support. You have your parents. They really good. You did a good job with you. They will help us. I have my family, my friends. They will help us. My sisters. So we tried getting into a system of just getting into our heads like, hey, we are actually going to be parents, but we had an issue to deal with, that is my mass. So this doctor really didn't help with my pain, with the mass. He just was like, you're pregnant, take this folic, come back next month. But when I got back home, the next 2 days were really, really bad. The pain was so much on my right, that cramping, so I was like, I need to. My husband was like, you need to find a second option. So my second option, my friends had given birth and my sister had given birth before at Kampala Hospital, and they were saying it's really nice. So I just woke up and went to Kampala Hospital, and I got my husband had always wanted a female gynecologist, so I got a female gynecologist, and I told her, like, hey, I'm pregnant, but really that's not the issue. I have an issue you need to check out. So they put me into the scan, the vagina thing, it goes through your vagina, the scan. I'm going to try to explain as much as I can. And it's like, wow, this mass is really, really big. And if it goes bigger, it will go into the space where the child is supposed to go. We need to deal with it as soon as possible. But and then she was like, but don't worry, you're still in your early stages. So it's not like the baby is growing. Maybe if it reaches like around 13 weeks and it's still this big, then we can start to worry about it. But for now, we can manage it. So she put me onto antibiotics, like 3 different stuff, and she's like, well, since you're pregnant, we really can't keep you on these antibiotics all the time. You'll be on and off on them, and then we'll see how it goes. So I got my first antibiotics and then my folic. I came back home, I started taking the first dose. I think it was like for 7 days. I finished it, and then she's like, let's stop and see how it's going to grow. So when I came back home, it stopped, the pain stopped. So after a few days, it came back again. So I called, I'm like, I think this thing is back. The pain is really, really severe. And she's like, you need to come back. This is like now my 6th week. I'm like 6 weeks pregnant. I really thank God I didn't get any nausea. I threw up like in my whole stages. I threw up like 5-6 days in the whole process. One day was really bad. I threw up until like 3 a.m. I thought I was going to die. I live alone. I had not told anyone. I was just sucking it all in. I didn't get any morning sickness, any nausea, any severe throw up as everyday thing. But my mental health was really, really bad. I think the first 2 months of my pregnancy, I really didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to talk about it. My mental health, I started to think of every bad thing that has ever happened to me. And I'm like, how am I going to be a mother? How am I going to do this? How am I going to protect this child? My mental health I didn't get any signs of bad severe things, but my mental health. But as it went into 3 months, I started to outgrow it. So back to the mass. So after the first treatment, I went back. When I had finished the treatment, we did a scan and the mass had decreased, let's say from like 10 centimeters to 3 centimeters. when I went back after I got off antibiotics, I was like in 30 centimeters. It had got even bigger, and my doctor was confused. I'm like, what is this? And she's like, sometimes it's about when you get pregnant, the eggshell creates water into this, but for you, it had been there even before you got pregnant. So she was also not getting it. But all in all, I've been on antibiotics till like 12 weeks. So after 12 weeks, it started really going down, and now it's still there even now at 16 weeks, but I have no pain. And it's by that every time I go back for review or for a scan, it's slowing, it's healing down as time goes. And the good thing, I have no pain for now. And my doctor is like, then let's not worry about it. And she recommended us be taking some clothes and sitting with them. They help out. Yeah, but besides that, I'm really okay. I'm doing fine. I've been working and I've been at office and no one actually knows that I'm pregnant. I don't know how I'm handling it, and everyone is not reading. But yeah, I just told my family last week. I'll show you their reactions, the videos. I tried to get some, and my friends. Brandon also just told his parents. We had decided not to tell them until we knew everything was okay. So everyone now knows, and we are going to find out about the 6 tomorrow and see what kind of a baby we are going to have. But I really don't care. My husband wants a girl so badly that he even has names already for a girl child. Personally, I really don't care, but I think it's a boy. I feel like in my spirit this child is a boy. But yeah, either way, as long as the baby is healthy, we don't, at the end of the day, we don't care about the sex. We just want a healthy child. And hopefully you meet your nephew or niece very soon. We love you. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll be going through this journey together as it goes. Mama is doing fine. Daddy's worried. It's going to be first time father at 42, so a lot of emotions are going through him, but with time it's getting better with time. And my family is happy. I'm happy. I've also learned to accept it. Like, I just have to learn this is happening. I'm now at that stage of like thinking, like, what is next? How am I going to handle this? How am I going to do this and that? But yeah, everything is fine. We thank God. Pregnancy hasn't humbled me yet. Besides, my boobs are really heavy. My boobs are really heavy. But besides that, bye-bye from me and your new nephew or niece. See ya in the next video.